Hey Corona, I'm Kai.
And I'm Malia.
And this is cdstv.
Freshmen, the ACT Aspire test will be held on April 18th and 20th. These days will have a modified schedule for all students.
In order to take the test, you will need to bring your fully charged district laptop on exam day. If your laptop is in need of repairs, we strongly recommend that you bring it to the library as soon as possible so that it could be repaired before testing day.
Please note that personal laptops cannot be used for testing. If you do not have a district laptop checked out to you, you will be placed in a computer lab for testing.
Congratulations to the CDS Winter Color Guard for placing second in the state of Arizona at the AZ Color Guard Championships. They'll be representing Arizona next week at the WGI World Championships in Ohio. Best of luck, Color Guard.
Stay tuned for some CDS TV original content.
What's up, Corona? Welcome to Animals That I Refuse to Believe Exist. I'm your host, Tyler, and this segment is earned by you, the viewer. Along with this episode link in your school email, there's a Google form. Here you will enter your name and that wacky animal that you'd like to see on CDS TV. If your animal is chosen, not only will it be featured in the next Animals That I Refuse to Believe Exist, but you will also get a shout out. And if that's not your kind of thing, staying anonymous is alright. So let's get started. Our first animal is the sarcastic fringehead. This little guy. They have jaws that can extend to terrifying lengths, just like in this video. Contrary to popular belief, no, that was not a freshman couple trying to kiss. It was actually two male fringeheads fighting over territory. And now on to our second animal, the red-lipped batfish. This is a very weird sea creature. Other than it looking like Gargamel from the Smurfs after getting a little experimental, they actually use that long schnoz of theirs to lure in prey. And they use those absolutely fabulous lips to attract mates. They also have strange fins that, interestingly enough, act almost like pseudo-legs, helping them walk rather than swim. And for our third animal, we have the immortal jellyfish, aka... I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. The weird part isn't the way they look, it's actually what they do. These jellyfish can actually reverse their age, making them seemingly immortal. This life hack is a mechanism that is triggered by any severe damage to the jellyfish. If the right conditions are met, they will actually take shelter and turn back into a polyp, which is the third stage in their life cycle. And get this, as long as they aren't harmed during this stage, they will actually continue to do this for as long as they want. Like, dude, I want to do that. Alright, I'm running out of time, so if you would like to see your animal on the next episode of Animals That I Refuse to Believe Exist, fill out that Google form and make it interesting. Thanks for watching, stay educated, and have a great day, Corona.
When thinking about artists from Arizona, a few names might come to mind. Jimmy Eat World, Stevie Nicks, maybe Alice Cooper. But who's injury resistant?
Check it, yo. Woo!
Forming in 2013, Injury Reserve is an Arizona hip-hop trio made up of Tempe rappers Steppa J. Groggs, Richie with a T, and producer Parker Corey. They would go on to become one of the most influential groups in the underground, working with artists such as Amine, Freddie Gibbs, Rico Nasty, and JPEG Mafia. Releasing their first mixtape in 2013 titled Depth Chart, they would continue to keep pushing their abilities, leading to the creation of their breakout project Alive from the Dentist's Office in 2015, showing off their jazz rap style of music as well as their more experimental side that would get fleshed out even more as time progressed. They would continue to release another mixtape and EP, each one improving upon the last, all culminating in the release of their debut studio album Injury Reserve. This was and still is arguably their biggest project both in terms of popularity and hits in general, showing the trio fully come to terms with their sound, highlighting all of the members' strong suits, from Richie's hooks, Grog's hardest verses, and the amazing production of Parker. Things were only looking up for the trio, but out of nowhere, they would be thrown for a complete loop. On June 30th, 2020, the Injury Reserve Twitter announced that Groggs had passed away just the day prior at only 32 years old. With no telling what the future of the group held or if the band even had a future after this, fans were left to speculate and to mourn the loss of Steppa J. Groggs.
Knees hurting when I grow. that's a tough pill to swallow.
By the time I Get to Phoenix, released in 2021, is Injury Reserve's most recent album and a completely new side to the group, introducing an entirely new post-rap sound with genre-defying production that producer Parker Corey provides on almost every track. Luckily, Groggs was able to be there up until the album's completion, with his verses coming in just as strong as ever, with both rappers being able to find a kind of beautiful harmony over the abstract beats they're put over, such as Richie on the second track, Superman That, finding a rhythm in the storm that is that song. With no telling where the group's headed now, there's no denying the work they've done will hopefully continue to do in the future. With all that said, thank you Aztecs. This was Injury Reserve.
Hey Corona, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Dee.
And welcome to the Renaissance Festival.
One of Arizona's most popular and beloved traditions is the Renaissance Fair, a lively, enchanted village with dozens of exciting fairground attractions and literally hundreds of shops run by local artisans. There are many shows and jousting tournaments just for your pleasure, and lots of carnival games that'll pit you against your friends to see who's the better Renaissance man. Tickets are $34 and $22 for children. Ride on by for an unforgettable historical experience.
Whether it's through calls, texts, video calls, or DMs, phones give us so many ways to connect with those that we love.
Tuesday, April 25th is National Telephone Day, and there's no better way to celebrate than to use our phones for their best possible purpose, to check in with our friends and family and ask how they're doing.
A quick call or text can remind someone they're cared for and even sometimes save a life. Here are a few sentences to start the conversation.
Just checking in. How are you doing?
How was your day?
Haven't talked in a while and wanted to say hi.
How's school going? Are you feeling good about finals or do you need some support?
No need to respond, but just wanted to say hey. I'm glad you're in my life.
I've been thinking about you a lot lately. Want to meet up soon?
And remember, you're not alone. If you need support, we are here for you. Teen Lifeline is also here to listen. Call or text them at 602-248-8336. Are you interested in taking dual enrollment courses from Rio Salado next year but need help paying for it? The scholarship application for next year just opened to those who qualify. Please see the dual enrollment webpage on the Corona website for more information and the link to the application. Please contact Ms. Fleming or Ms. Schmidt if you have any questions.
Hey, did you know prom's coming up soon?
Really? Tell me more.
Corona del Sol's prom is Saturday, April 29th at the Marquee Theater in Tempe from 8 p.m. to midnight.
The theme is All You Need Is Love, and the colors are red and gold. Tickets are now on sale for $40 on GoFan.com, but prices will go up next week, so buy yours now.
Make sure to check your student email for the link. And now for your weekend weather forecast.
Hi Corona, welcome to your weekend weather forecast. I'm Bryce, your host for today. The weather is looking mostly sunny with a high of 96 and a low of 69. And on Saturday, it looks like we're going to begin the transition into fall weather with a high of 90 and a low of 66. Time to break in those warm weather clothes. And continuing this awesome cool weather on Sunday, it'll be a high of 91 and a low of 63. Enjoy the nice weather and have an awesome weekend, Corona.
He looks familiar.
Stan culture ruins everything, even for the stans themselves. As a collective, we've fallen into a state of the internet where pretty much everyone is in some sort of standom and or parasocial relationship, even if you don't think you are. Parasocial relationships are one-sided relationships where one person extends emotional energy, interest, and time, and the other party, the persona, is completely unaware of the other's existence. When your favorite celebrity reposts on Instagram and you repost it, or when you're screaming at the TV over a football game, when you see a terrible TikTok fan edit of that one character but you still let it play anyways, that's the parasocial relationship in action. For most internet-based standoms, these behaviors are amplified by the hundreds. Those Twitter stan pages, the Spotify playlist dedicated to cartoon characters, the general concept of fanfiction, With these behaviors, everyone grows to hate the things that harbor the most stans. The Dream SMP, K-pop, anime, Eddie from Stranger Things, Among Us, Genshin Impact, BTS. You didn't react positively to any of those things just now unless you're actively a fan, did you? The fandoms themselves are usually the reason. In the process of showing love for our interests of choice, we tend to become annoying, to say the least, and end up in a self-destructive cycle. It can range from mean statements in a TikTok comment section to doxing people and sending them death threats. Usually over something like someone calling Jimin from BTS ugly, or saying that Dream is bad at Minecraft. People who stan real people can become so sucked into the parasocial relationship aspect that they feel far too comfortable talking to and about their person. Celebrities themselves have expressed feeling super uncomfortable with this and commonly tell people to remember their place. The things people say about fictional characters can be infinitely worse somehow, taking it too far because there's usually no real-life consequences to follow. With this, people see things that they've seen people talk about on the internet and feel an immediate distaste for it by association. And if you think you're exempt from this because you don't like anime or Taylor Swift, you're probably not. Sports fans act almost exactly the same as many other more generally cringy fandoms, but it's seen as the norm since America has kind of built itself around sports. Video games harbor some of the most toxic communities I've ever seen. And that's not necessarily to say that everything about stan culture is bad, because it's not. We could all use something to bring that little boost of serotonin to our life. Whether it's a poster on your wall, a photo card in your phone, or the welcoming energy of a Twitch chat. We like things for a reason. It's just important to remember that we also become the public image for those things. Realistically, we would probably all be better off if we got off of Twitter altogether.
Hi, I'm Jessie, and welcome to the history of time travel in media. Over the past 40 years or so, time travel has virtually exploded in popularity within the world of science fiction and has become a spectacle of the future, similar to the prospect of flying cars. With the release of movies such as Terminator 2 and Back to the Future, it became a phenomenon. There are many versions of the time travel story formula, but the majority of them are split into one of four types: branch reality, time dilation, this always happened, and time loops. In branch reality films, new actions in the past create an alternate reality, breaking off the timeline, and these actions do not affect the future in the original timeline. Prominent media that use this formula include Back to the Future 2, Loki, and Avengers Endgame. Some, however, are more messy than others.
Time travel!
Time dilation is the most realistic time travel theory, basing itself upon the scientific understanding of how your perception of time slows as you approach the speed of light. This, however, is a forward-only type of time travel, and these films usually use that to their advantage. Interstellar, Lightyear, and with its own spin, Inception, are all prime examples of this. This Always Happened is the most airtight form of the time travel story, usually consisting of story beats shrouded in mystery to revisit later on a different side of that story that was affecting it. It puts up the question of, does this character have free will? Execution is key with this one. Prisoner of Azkaban, Interstellar, and Looper all take different stabs at this concept. And now for my favorite type of a time travel story, time loops. The formula was pioneered mainly by the 1993 film Groundhog Day, in which the character gets trapped in an everlasting loop of the same day until he becomes a better person.
Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again?
Films such as Happy Death Day or Palm Springs put their own spin on this formula, spawning a lot of creativity and interesting scenarios. While we love to imagine going through time in media, real time travel has been theorized as a physical impossibility, or if not, extremely difficult to pull off. So for now, we're going to have to value the present. Value the present.
Malia.
And I'm Kai.
And this was
CDS TV.